So I read this first part, and I'm like, that's awesome. Her husband wants to be a stay-at-home dad. But then I read the second sentence. But he only wants to be a stay-at-home dad if he can receive a salary to stay at home with their son.
Barf.
And she's like, no. You're not going to be a stay-at-home dad if you're expecting a salary. All right, is it Alicia?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Bert Show. All right, so like I said, I was like kind of pumped for you because your husband was wanting to be a stay-at-home dad, which I think is fantastic. My husband's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm excited to have your advice on this.
But then he followed up. He wants a salary to do it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Explain.
So we both work right now. And like I've been on maternity leave and it's about to end. So I'm planning to go back to work in a couple weeks.
And let me interject. Congratulations on your new bundle of joy.
Oh, thank you. I love her. Yeah, so thank you. But so I'm going to go back to work, and my job just makes more money than his does, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And we just haven't found any childcare that we're happy with. So, you know, as we've established, he was going to be the stay-at-home dad, or hopefully still is. And the problem is he's supposed to be putting in his notice today. And we're having a fight because he wants me to agree to pay him a salary for taking care of the baby. And I feel like maybe it's because his sister, she just went through like a really brutal divorce, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and basically that situation left her with very little money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he might be like, I don't know, hopefully we're not going to get a divorce, but maybe he feels emasculated. I don't know what it is, but he wants, you know, right now we have separate accounts. And he wants to decide on a fair salary, like half of what I earn, basically. And I think this is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. So I know that your husband is a stay-at-home dad, and I'm really curious, like what I should do. He has to put in his notice, and he refuses to until I agree.
Dottie?
So you guys already looked into childcare and budgeting and decided like the better option would be one paycheck in the household, and then you save money on all that childcare, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because essentially he would be working to pay for childcare.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make any sense if one parent can stay at home with the child if you have an additional income that can cover all the other expenses.
But how does the house stay afloat on one salary and when half of it is just going to dad for staying home? You know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
I
what
can't understand it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with combining our accounts, you know what I mean? Like, because we have separate ones now.
Yeah, that's what I think you should do. So I'm trying not to pass too much judgment on your husband, especially since he just saw his sister go through a nasty divorce, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and she was basically left with nothing. I can see how, and we had a woman on recently whose friend, she had a secret account, and her husband found this secret account because her friend had gone through the same thing, and she was worried about that exact same thing. So I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as actually receiving a salary,
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and if my husband came to me and requested that, one, I would try not to laugh because I know that wouldn't set the tone for a productive conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I would join your accounts because you're one family, you're one account. And then I would also make sure you have a joint credit card and a joint debit card so he can use it for anything he needs to use it for his personal self. Cassie?
I'm actually going to side with your husband on this 100%. I think joining the accounts is probably the way I would want to go. But staying at home and doing that work, that's real labor, and it deserves to be paid for. People hire housekeepers, people hire nannies. So if you have a partner staying at home, they're taking on those duties. And I think we talk about that a lot. If the woman stays at home, how she misses out on advancing her career, there's lost money there. So I think it's a fair ask of your husband. I think it could easily be alleviated by, Kristen and your suggestions of combining accounts. But if you do pay him a salary, you're going to have to restructure the bills in your house so that he also pays out of his quote unquote salary the bills. And then it gets really complicated
my
and weird. So I think it's more like he needs access to money.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's really his sister's divorce that's setting him off, you guys need to have a written agreement that if you get divorced, he gets X amount. And maybe that'll make him feel a little more secure.
That's my thing. Like when you're talking about it, you're creating. It's already you brought a new life into the world, right? And life has already gotten immensely more complicated. And now you're going to complicate it even more by giving him a salary and then having to split the bills a certain way. And it just seems, it seems to be making a what can be a tough situation tougher.
What if you file for yourself and your household to become like a corporation, an LLC, and then you can hire him on as a stay-at-home intern and you give him some school credit?
Oh my God, fancy. Yeah, gosh, interesting. I hear every point of view, and now I don't even know what to do. Oh my God.
I mean, Mo, what would you do if your wife came to you and it's like, all right, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, but you have to pay me a salary. And we all agree, like stay-at-home parents, and I will recognize this, like my husband does serious work for sure. And the compensation, I feel why it's not in money and you need to have access to the household's money. It's the fact that it's not going to additional childcare and daycare.
That's tough, man. I genuinely don't know because I don't know what it takes to be a stay-at-home parent. I guess I would have to evaluate how much money I'm making, how much money she would have been making, and look into the money that we would be saving by her staying at home and doing what she's doing. And if it made sense for me to just pay her to do it, then I would do it.
Yeah. My thing is, if all the money's going into one pot and you're all sharing it, it shouldn't matter if he gets a salary or not because he has access to all the money.
I think you also got to look at like the root cause here. I don't think it's the money. It's really that it's a big life change. Having a baby is a big life change. And then having your husband, who probably thought that he was going to be working his entire life, give up, essentially step away from his career like many women do. But that is still a huge life change. And then to not have that security of income coming into your bank account and not have access to the funds, I totally understand it. This is a total 180 for him. So I think it's probably not so much about the money so much as it's about security and a big change. And you as his wife have to find a way to, support him through this and make him feel better. It's a journey you're taking together.
All right, Joseph, welcome to the Bert Show. Do you have advice for Alicia?
Yes, good morning. I'm on the other side of a divorce where the mother was a stay-at-home. So I think an important part of this is to remove the gender.
Yeah.
And then, like Alicia said, that work, that stay-at-home work that is paid normally through nannies and whatnot, so maybe find out the market value of that work, offer to give him that much, but also he needs to split the bill. If he's going to live anywhere, especially with you, he's going to have to contribute 50% to the bills. Or you do the joint account and all the money is family money.
Yeah. And that to me just seems like the easier solution of the two rather than putting money into his account and then having him, Venmo you, mortgage bill and all the split bills and having to split all the bills. You all already have enough on your plate with a newborn. So you need to simplify, not complicate.
Yeah, complicating it more makes it like a business. If I was looking at my husband like he was my boss, that would put a damper on my sex life.
But Cassie's right. You do need to make him feel secure.
Yeah.
Because, so hopefully we gave you some good advice.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I got a path to take here.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. And if you don't mind hitting us back and letting us know what you decide, because we got a lot of people calling up, and surprisingly, there's a bunch of people who are in your same position, man.
The Bert Show.